You're never going to have power. Not because the world is unfair, not because you didn't get the right opportunities, not because other people had advantages you didn't, because you're weak. And you've been weak so long, you've convinced yourself it's a virtue. You call it being patient, being humble, being a good person, playing by the rules. I call it what it actually is, being controlled. You're a trained dog, and you don't even know who's holding the leash. Right now, you're probably getting defensive. Good. That means I'm talking about you. You want to click away. You want to tell yourself, I'm wrong. You want to leave a comment about how I don't understand your situation. Go ahead. Prove my point. Because here's what I know about you without ever meeting you. You work harder than the people above you. You're smarter than half the people who have more than you. You follow the rules while watching rule breakers win. And you tell yourself that someday, if you just keep being good, keep being patient, keep doing the right thing, someone will notice. They won't. Because the game you're playing is designed for you to lose. And the truly pathetic part? You were the one who chose to play it. Nobody forced you to wait for permission. Nobody forced you to seek approval. Nobody forced you to be so terrified of what other people think that you neutered yourself. You did that. You built your own cage. You locked yourself inside. And now you're sitting there wondering why you can't get out. I'm about to tell you exactly why. And you're going to hate me for it. Because the truth about power is that you already know what you need to do. You've always known. But you're too scared to do it. Too scared to take what's yours. Too scared to stop asking for permission. Too scared to look like the bad guy. So you stay weak, and you blame everyone else for it. 500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli told the truth about how power works. And they destroyed him for it, exiled him, banned his work, turned his name into an insult. Why? Because he said out loud what everyone in power already knows but will never admit. Power is never given. It is only taken. And most of you will never take it. Not because you can't, because you won't. You'll watch this video. You'll nod along. You'll agree with everything I say. And then you'll go back to doing exactly what you've always done. Waiting, hoping, begging for scraps. While other people less qualified than you, less intelligent than you, less deserving than you, will take the power you were too afraid to reach for. And you'll hate them for it. But the person you should hate is yourself. Because you had the same opportunity. You just didn't have the balls to seize it. So here's your choice. You can close this video right now. Go back to your comfortable delusion that hard work pays off, that patience is rewarded, that someday someone will recognize your value. They won't. You'll die waiting. Or you can listen to what I'm about to tell you. Accept that everything you've been taught is a lie. And start taking the power that's been sitting there, waiting for someone bold enough to claim it. But I need you to understand something first. Once you see how this works, you can't unsee it. You'll realize how much time you've wasted, how many opportunities you've missed, how many people have been manipulating you while you smiled and thanked them for it. And that knowledge is going to make you angry. Good. Use that anger. Because weak men stay weak by staying comfortable. Strong men are forged in rage at their own mediocrity. So get angry. At yourself. At the system. At everyone who taught you to wait instead of take. Then let's begin. You think you're playing the game of merit. Work hard, get rewarded. Be good, get recognized. Follow the rules, get promoted. That game doesn't exist. It never did. It's a story they tell children to make them behave. And you're still believing it because you never grew up. Here's the real game. The one everyone in power is playing while you're still trying to figure out why being competent isn't enough. The game is, whoever acts like they have power, gets power. Whoever waits for it, never gets it. That's it. That's the entire game. And you're losing because you're playing by rules that don't exist. Let me give you an example you've lived 1,000 times. You're in a meeting. You've done the work. You know the answer. But you wait. You wait for the right moment. You wait to be called on. You wait for permission to speak. And while you're waiting, some jackass named Brad, who did zero preparation, says the first thing that comes to his mind. Wrong or right doesn't matter. He said it confidently. He said it first. And everyone turns to Brad. Brad gets the attention. Brad gets the credit. Brad gets the opportunity. You get nothing. And you tell yourself, that's not fair. I knew the answer. I did the work. I deserve the credit. Deserve. You still think the universe gives a fuck about what you deserve. It doesn't. Power doesn't go to who deserves it. It goes to who takes it. Brad understands this. You don't. Brad knows that in any room, the first person to speak with confidence controls the narrative. The first person to claim authority gets treated as the authority. The first person to act like they're in charge becomes in charge. And you? You're still waiting to be invited to speak. That's why you're powerless. Not because you're not smart enough, not because you're not skilled enough, because you're psychologically subordinate. You've been trained to seek permission, to wait your turn, to defer to authority. And that training has crippled you. Every time you wait for permission, you communicate to everyone in the room, I'm not confident enough to act on my own. I need validation. I need approval. I need someone more powerful than me to say I'm allowed. And the moment you communicate that, you've lost. Because power recognizes power. Confidence attracts opportunity. Authority defers to authority. And subordination breeds more subordination. You want to know the really pathetic part? The people above you aren't smarter than you. They are not more talented. They are not working harder. They just stopped asking for permission before you did. That's it. That's the only difference between you and them. They decided they were allowed to have power. You're still waiting for someone to decide for you. And while you wait, they take, and take, and take. Your ideas, your opportunities, your potential. All of it gone. To people who understood the game you still don't see. Here's what the game actually is. Society needs workers. Obedient, productive, non-threatening workers who do what they're told and don't ask for too much. So they teach you a story, the meritocracy story. Work hard and you'll succeed. Be patient and you'll be rewarded. Play by the rules and the rules will protect you. It's a beautiful story, inspiring even. It's also complete bullshit. The people who told you that story, they didn't follow it themselves. Your boss didn't wait for permission to become your boss. Your CEO didn't patiently earn his way to the top. Your political leaders didn't humbly wait to be chosen. They took, they seized, they claimed. And then they told you to wait. Because if you wait, you're not a threat. If you seek permission, you're controllable. If you believe in meritocracy, you'll work hard without demanding the rewards. You're a trained dog, and the training worked perfectly. You sit, you stay, you wait for the treat. And while you're waiting, someone else is eating your dinner. I'm going to give you the 3 laws of power acquisition. The real ones. Not the sanitized, motivational poster bullshit you've been fed your whole life. These are the laws that actually work. The laws that everyone in power follows, but will never admit to. And I already know you're not going to follow them. Because following them requires you to be someone you're not. Someone bold. Someone willing to risk looking stupid. Someone willing to be hated. And you're not that person. You're the person who plays it safe, who waits for certainty, who needs everyone to approve before you act. Which is exactly why you're going to stay exactly where you are. But let me tell you the laws anyway. So when you're watching someone else live the life you wanted, you'll know exactly what they did differently. Law 1. Act like you already have it. Power doesn't go to people who ask for it. It goes to people who act like they already have it. You want respect? Act like someone who deserves respect, even if you don't feel like you do. You want authority? Speak like someone with authority, even if you haven't earned it yet. You want opportunities? Carry yourself like someone opportunities come to, even if they haven't. This is the most important law, and the one you'll never follow. Because it feels like lying. It feels like faking. It feels like you're pretending to be something you're not. Good. Do it anyway. Because here's what you don't understand. Everyone in power is pretending. Every authority figure you defer to is just someone who started pretending before you did and never stopped. Your boss doesn't know what he's doing half the time. He just acts like he does. The CEO making millions doesn't have it all figured out. She just projects confidence while figuring it out. The expert you follow online? Half of what they say is educated guessing presented as certainty. Everyone is faking it. The difference is They're faking it in public, with confidence, without apology. And you're waiting until you feel ready, until you're certain, until you actually know what you're doing. That day will never come. Confidence doesn't come from knowing what you're doing. It comes from acting like you know what you're doing until you actually do. But you won't do this because you're terrified of looking stupid, of being called out, of having someone challenge you. So you stay silent, you stay small, you stay safe, and you stay powerless. Law 2. Take before you're ready. Every significant opportunity in your life has a window, and that window closes. The job, the relationship, the investment, the moment, all of them expire. And here's the brutal truth. Opportunities don't wait for you to feel ready. They go to whoever grabs them first. You've been taught to prepare, to plan, to make sure you're qualified before you pursue something. That's a trap, because you'll never feel ready. There will always be one more skill to learn, one more credential to get, one more reason to wait. And while you're preparing, someone less qualified is doing. They're starting the business you were planning. They're pursuing the opportunity you were researching. They're taking the risk you were calculating. And they're winning, not because they're better prepared, because they moved faster. Speed beats perfection. Action beats preparation. Doing beats planning. Every single time. But you won't act until you're ready, which means you'll never act. Because readiness is a moving target. The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. The closer you get, the further away it seems. So you stay stuck, preparing for a moment that never comes, while other people are failing forward, learning by doing, building momentum through action, and you're sitting there with your perfectly prepared plan that you're too scared to execute. Pathetic. Law 3. Stop asking for permission. This is the law that will change everything if you follow it. And you won't. Because following it means accepting that no one is coming to save you. No one is going to validate you. No one is going to give you permission to want more. You have to give yourself permission. And you're too weak to do that. You need external validation. You need someone in authority to tell you you're allowed. You need approval before you act. That's why you're controllable. That's why you're powerless. That's why you're exactly where they want you. Here's what you need to understand. Permission is a cage you built for yourself. No one is actually stopping you from speaking up in meetings. You're stopping yourself. No one is actually preventing you from pursuing bigger opportunities. You're preventing yourself. No one is actually keeping you small. You're keeping yourself small by waiting for permission that will never come. Because the people in power have no reason to give it to you. Your subordination benefits them. Your hesitation creates space for them. Your need for approval makes you manageable. Why would they give you permission to threaten that? They won't. So you'll wait forever, for a green light that's never coming, for validation that's never arriving, for someone to tell you you're ready. And while you wait, someone who stopped asking for permission years ago is taking everything you were too afraid to reach for. Let me tell you what's going to happen after you finish this video. Nothing. You're going to feel inspired for about 5 minutes. You're going to think, he's right. I need to start taking what's mine. I need to stop waiting. And then you're going to do exactly what you've always done. You're going to go to work tomorrow and stay quiet in the meeting. You're going to see an opportunity and talk yourself out of pursuing it. You're going to want to speak up and swallow your words instead. Because that's who you are. A person who knows what they should do, but is too scared to do it. And you know what? That's fine. Most people are like you. Most people will live and die without ever claiming their power. Most people will watch from the sidelines while bolder people take what they were too afraid to reach for. You'll be in good company. The company of everyone else who had potential but never did anything with it. But let me give you an alternative, just in case there's a small part of you that's tired of being weak. Just in case there's a voice in your head that's sick of watching other people win while you wait. Just in case you're finally angry enough at yourself to actually change. Here's what you do. Tomorrow, in your next meeting, speak first. Don't wait to be called on. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just speak. Say something. Anything. Claim space. You'll feel terrified. Your heart will race. You'll second-guess yourself. Do it anyway. This week, pursue one opportunity you don't feel qualified for. Apply for the position above your level. Pitch the project beyond your current role. Reach out to someone out of your league. You'll feel like an imposter, like you're reaching too far, like you're going to be rejected. Do it anyway. This month, stop asking for permission. Make a decision and inform people instead of asking them. Take initiative instead of waiting to be assigned. Act like you have authority even if you don't. People will be surprised. Some will be uncomfortable. A few will challenge you. Good. That means it's working. Because the only way to stop being powerless is to start acting powerful. Even when you don't feel it. Even when you're scared. Even when everyone around you is telling you to wait your turn. Especially then. But you probably won't do any of this. You'll watch this video, you'll agree with it, you'll save it for later. And then you'll go back to being exactly who you were before. Waiting, hoping, wishing, while someone else takes the power you were too afraid to claim. So here we are. You know the truth now. Power is never given. It's only taken. You know the laws. Act like you have it. Take before you're ready. Stop asking for permission. You know what you need to do. And you know you're probably not going to do it. Because doing it requires you to be uncomfortable, to risk looking stupid, to possibly fail in public, to be judged by people whose opinions shouldn't matter but do. And you're not willing to pay that price. So you'll stay where you are, comfortable, safe, powerless. And you'll watch other people, people who aren't smarter than you, who aren't more talented than you, who aren't more deserving than you, take everything you wanted. Because they were willing to do what you're not. They were willing to look stupid, to be challenged, to be hated, to fail publicly and keep going anyway. They were willing to take, and you're only willing to wait. That's the difference between you and them. Not talent, not intelligence, not opportunity. Courage. They have it, you don't. And until you do, nothing will change. You'll keep reading self-improvement content, keep watching motivational videos, keep planning and preparing and waiting. And you'll keep getting the same results. None. Because knowledge without action is just entertainment. And you've been entertained long enough. So make a choice, right now. Either close this video and go back to your comfortable delusion that someday, somehow, things will get better on their own. Or accept that the only person who can change your life is you, and start taking what's yours. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to give you permission. No one is going to hand you power. You have to take it. And if you're not willing to do that, then stop complaining about being powerless, because you chose it. Every day you wait is a day you chose subordination over strength. Every opportunity you don't pursue is a choice to stay small. Every time you ask for permission instead of taking action is a choice to be controlled. Your powerlessness is not something that happened to you. It's something you're doing to yourself. So stop doing it. Or don't, but at least have the honesty to admit that it's your choice. Power is there, waiting, available. The question is, are you finally going to take it? Or are you going to watch someone else take it while you're still deciding if you're ready? The window is closing. Choose quickly, or someone else will choose for you.